This video is to create what is so-called drop-down menus. A drop-down menu in HTML can be created with help of cascading style sheets. A drop-down menu is very common in many websites. For example, if you look at our college website, you will see that if you put the cursor on these menus, you will see that there is a drop-down menu. And then also the behavior of the drop-down menu changes according to the mouse hovering over these sub-items. For example, the default color is white and background is orange, but when I actually move the cursor on this, the background color slightly change. So you can have an example, a small example for a drop-down menu look like this. This is the word menu, but when I put the cursor on it, it will show these are blocks of menus. And then when you hover over each one of these items, the background color, which was white, now it is changing to royal blue. And then you can click on one of these selections. So this one, basically, I will start by showing you first the content of this file. So here I have inside the body I have nav element. The nav element is used as navigation element, which it contains sub elements like order list or unordered list. Like in this example, I have an order list in which I have some menu items, which are basically 5 different links. They are not showing to any website right now or any URL, but they are supposed to be links, because here I am using a anchor element with the attribute href equal. This bound is that means if you click, it doesn't go anywhere. But if you would like to actually have a website, then you can replace this bound with any website that or any URL that you would like to click on it. But here what I have is I have an unordered list, which is UL, with its list items inside what? Inside the navigation element. Inside the navigation element. So what I have inside the nav element, I have this menu here. You see here on my screen, on top, menu. Currently it has black color and normal background. But let me actually use this CSS to change slightly the behavior of this menus. Body, font family, Arial. So here you will see that the Arial, and also inside this menu you will see that inside the nav element, because in the nav element I said for nav, make the font weight bold, so it is bold. Make the color white, so it is white. Make the border 2 pixels solid royal blue. You will see this border later when I actually activate the rest of these CSS elements. But the text align is center. That means the menu itself is written in the center with the width 10 em. The width of this 10 em is a measure of the pixels of the screen. Background color is royal blue. This is the background color of this navigation element content, royal blue. And here, why the other items, these are not showing here on this screen? Why these are not showing? Because I said if you find any unordered list inside the navigation, which is this item, display none. Don't display them right now. Later I will show you how you can display. But now when you actually execute or open the screen for the first time, this file, it will not show, and the margin is 0, padding is 0. So I will actually now add more CSS rules for this, for the navigation when I hover of this elements. Here, when you see that navigation, nav element, colon, hover, UL, that means if there is any UL inside navigation, and when you hover over that element, display block, that means now display none, but because it is just normal unordered list inside the navigation. But here I said when I hover over, when I hover means when I put the cursor over like this, hover, that means that is the meaning of the hover. That means if you hover over the navigation element, if you hover over the unordered list inside the navigation element. So now you have seen before I use a colon hover, right? A colon hover like this, a colon hover. That means if you hover over the link, that means if you actually put the cursor over the link. But here, when I put the cursor over the unordered list, display block, now you're going to display them, but display them as blocks, each one in like a block by itself, okay? And what is this rule? This rule, it means for every list item, yani one of these 5 items, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is inside the unordered list, which is inside the unordered list, which is inside the navigation, which is inside the navigation. What do I do? For this, the rule says the border top is 2 pixels. There is a border, a small border, which is 2 pixels, and the border itself is solid royal blue. And the background, when you do that, the background will be white. Yani the background is not going to be blue, it's going to be white. And this is how actually going to look like this. So if you hover over this, you see the background is white, center for all of them, and then there is a border which is 2 pixels. Also this here, let me show you the code says nav colon hover UL display block, display them like blocks. Then any list item, which is this home, news, article, block, and contact, inside the UL, of course it is inside the unordered list, which is inside the navigation, as you see here from this code here. What do? You have the border to border on the top. For each one of them is 2 pixels, solid royal blue. These are the borders, these borders here, okay? These are the borders for each one of them. All right, and the background color is white, as you can see here. The background is white, and the width is 10 em, the width of these blocks, and the color black, because in the links we usually the default color is this going to be like that, unless we change it later by changing the behavior of these hoverings. But I need to add one more when I hover over these items, and when I put the cursor over each one of the item, what's going to happen? So here I can add this new rule, which says okay, here, when for any list item inside the UL, which is inside the navigation, if you hover over these list items, and if we put the cursor over this item like that, background color, change the background color to make it powder blue. Yani if I put the cursor here, then the background color is not going to be white anymore, it's going to be powder blue. Powder blue is light like a blue color, but it is like mixed between blue, white, and gray, something like that, called powder. Now when I save my file and then refresh, you will see that when I put my cursor on one of these items, the background color will change, of course. And I said also here a text decoration none. That means take decoration none, remove the underline from these links. For the any anchor element, for any link element, remove what? Remove the underline. If to remove the underline, you have to use the text decoration colon none. So let me save the file and show you what happens here. Now I refresh. Then this is what happens. Now you see this. When I put the cursor here like that, this is what happened earlier. But now the new thing that will show, which is what is going to happen to these list items inside the unordered list inside the navigation. What's going to happen to them? The background color is going to change, and also the underline of these links is going to be removed. As you could see, the underline is removed already, and now you can see that the powder blue color is now showing when I actually hover over these list items. So you need these rules working together for all. You can change anything if you like. For example, you would like to change this background color to make it yellow. For example, you just change the background color yellow, save the file, refresh, and then here the color changes, and so on. For example, you like the first menu item in the navigation that the color is not white. The color, for example, is red. So you can actually you can say the color here is red, and then you see that this one will be reflected here. If you refresh, you see the color here red for this one. So you can actually change anything, even this background color. You can change it for this one. You can change this one to make it, for example, ivory color, and then refresh, and you see that the color ivory has replaced the blue background, because this one only for the nav, it's not for the list. Anything concerning the list items is actually here on these three different roles. But anything concerning only the menu, it will be only inside the nav, because this menu is actually here inside the nav, and it is not inside the order list. So here is simply that showing the unordered list, and you can actually change any thing that you'd like to change in your file. This file is also available in your Blackboard. If you check the Blackboard for this course, you will see that I have put all these examples you can download, and also you can practice with them. So here you need to go to week 4, and then inside week 4 you will see week 3 actually, week 3, and in week 3 you will see chapter 4.zip file, which you can click to download. Once you download, then extract this extract the file, and then you will see all examples that have been used here, where you can actually see one of them is this menu items. So here is a file that I have just downloaded, and then you can extract the file, and double click, open the folder that you extracted, and then you will see one of these files. Definitely you will find you know, this is a drop down menu, this one here, which is the same example that I've been showing. You can modify it as you like. Thank you.